Él es spooky. Hello, friends, and welcome back to Will is Spooky. I'm your host, Soul Rack the Innocent. Tonight, we continue on our quest into the world of the paranormal. I have a few videos lined up for us to investigate. Let's see if we can apply some logic to them and debunk them, or see if they truly are paranormal. So why don't you sit back and relax and enjoy yourselves as we continue on our quest into the world of the paranormal. Él es spooky. Tonight's first video comes from Casos Paranormales on Twitter. We start tonight's episode with a ghost clip, or at least what people think could be an actual ghost clip. Now let's examine this carefully. Let's eliminate what it could be first, as opposed to just calling it a ghost clip right away. If we look at it carefully, we can see a figure of something or someone walking. What I think is happening here is that this is a compression issue. The digital camera that was recording this image was having trouble processing it, and this is the result, a compression issue. However, it might be paranormal, but it's more than likely just a compression issue. What do you think though? Our next clip comes from El Alienista Doc on Twitter. Footage that comes from airplanes or from the cockpits of airplanes and things like that I always find incredibly interesting. Unfortunately here, we cannot tell what army this is or what country of origin this video's footage comes from. However, I always find it incredibly fascinating to see footage like this because, one, how does it get leaked? And two, to fake a video like this, for what purpose and to what end? So that's why I find these fascinating and also very credible because, well, what could this be? Clearly the pilot cannot identify what that is. Very interesting. But do you think that this is an actual UFO footage? Or could it be explained? Or is it a hoax? Our next clip comes from Aging Wisdom on Reddit. This interesting clip here comes from a newscast in Mexico. We see here a pair of dogs that seem to be reacting to something that appears to be floating near them. But what could this be? Let's have a closer look, shall we? Could these be some sort of balloons? Because there appears to be two of them, not just one. I don't think that that's what the case is here. They appear to be moving with too much intention for them to be balloons that would be losing their helium. So I don't think that's what that is. Like we see here with some sort of infrared filter applied to it. No, this is definitely not balloons. Could these actually be ghosts? Very fascinating. Another possibility that we cannot discount is that these things might actually be some sort of probes or drones of some sort. But the question is, are these human drones, or could these be alien in nature? Here we see the footage slow down a little bit, and it is still difficult to determine what it is that we're looking at. If it is a human drone, well, it moves a bit too strange for it to be a drone. I have never seen a drone in this shape before, so I'm not sure that this would be a drone. But if it's not a drone, then could this be some sort of alien probe? Now that's an interesting question too. It might be possible, but then again, what would these things be doing? I am going to say that this might be some sort of ghost or drone. Is it an alien drone or a human drone? I'm not too sure. What do you think this is? Something paranormal? Or can it be explained? Because I really don't know how to explain this.
Well, my friends, we reached the halfway point of another video. Just a quick reminder to subscribe to the channel and leave a like to the video.
Our next clip comes from Various AD 2435 on Reddit. This interesting clip has been circling around the internet for quite a few years now. What we are seeing here supposedly is some sort of sea creature or serpent. Do you think that it's possible for creatures like that to exist in lakes and rivers? Very interesting, but I am not convinced by this footage. What do you think? Our next clip comes from Deadly Beast 5459 on Twitter. This clip here shows the brutality that nature is sometimes. I include these clips so we can appreciate the power and the absolute terror that nature is. Let us watch.
Oh my lord. That poor deer could not catch a break. Must suck to be a deer.
Our next clip comes from El Elianista Doc on Twitter. According to my understanding, the following sets of clips were all taken somewhere over the skies of Russia. A lot of people are claiming that what we are seeing here are UFOs or some sort of unidentified flying objects, but if we think about it logically, what we are seeing here are meteorites or some sort of asteroids, but more than likely meteorites that are entering the atmosphere and melting as they burn up in the atmosphere, and that is what we are seeing here. It is truly spectacular to see these things. However, there is nothing paranormal about them. It is all just nature and just a natural phenomenon. Awesome, isn't it? But do you think that I'm correct, and that what we're seeing here are just meteorites disappearing into the atmosphere, burning up as they enter through our atmosphere? Or is there something more paranormal about this? Leave your comments below, but if you ask me, this is just a natural phenomenon things entering our atmosphere from space. Nothing more. Our next clip comes from Jaffa Naggins on Twitter. In our final clip of the night, we see what might be a spiritual orb, but let's think about it carefully. The thing appears to move in a very interesting fashion. I don't know if I would say that this thing is moving like an insect. And then suddenly, it takes off. Here we see it replayed. Interesting. Here we have the footage slowed down just a little bit. I mean, if you think about it, it does sort of move like it would be an insect. It is very interesting. Looking at the way that it's moving here, to me, yes, it does appear to be very insect-like. The one thing that would concern me would be the way that it takes off. It just darts off. But at the same time, insects do tend to dart off like that sometimes. Fascinating. But it does give me pause to wonder, is this an insect? Or is it some sort of spiritual orb? I mean, the insect would have to be very big for it to produce a lot of light like that. But that could also be a distortion from the way that it's filmed at night. So it's a possibility. I think that the likelihood that what we're seeing here is more than likely an insect. So I'm not going to say that it's a spiritual orb. And yes, we have seen insects that do dart away like that. But what do you think? Do you think that what we're seeing here is some sort of spiritual orb? Maybe an alien probe? Or is it like what I think it is, an insect? A big insect that reflects a lot of light, but an insect nonetheless. You decide.
Well, friends, we've reached the end of another video. As you can see, some of these videos are clearly real and some of them are clearly not. But that's the way that the nature of this business is. We have to be able to sit there, analyze, scrutinize, and see if these videos can actually stand up to the test of logic, right? Which oftentimes they do not. But that's just the nature of this business. Anyways, my friends, I hope you enjoyed yourselves, and I hope to see you guys again for another episode of El Spooky. I've been your host, Soul Rack the Innocent. Until next time, my friends. Bye.